there was a relationship that, evolved into a marriage that then turned into a family. And it was a big decision to make. I think it's a big decision for any woman in their life to decide to, have children. Because once you do it, you'll never look back. And, you're not going to tell me what motherhood will look like on me. I'll make it look how I want to make it look, and I'll deal with it the way that I want to deal with it. So I'm not going to take on the baggage of what everyone else thinks, my life should become. Come to my platform because I'm an actress, and that's what they want to see. They want to see what I'm up to work-wise. But at that point in time, I wasn't working. I had one child. I was, there was COVID. I was getting pregnant with another, and then, there was, another. And there was a moment where I was like, maybe I should try and post just, more what they came here to see of me. And I thought, you know what, I can't do that. I have to be, this is my life right now. I can't try and, sweep it away to carry on being, what you came for.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guest today is super special. She's someone who never let the industry box her into anything. She remained authentic, real, and actually did whatever she wanted. I think she's still the coolest. I'm talking about the wonderful Lisa Haydon. Hello there.
Hi, Rudrani.
I am so excited.
Yeah, me too. I was just so happy to know that you're interviewing me.
Yay. Yeah. You know, but this is true. I want to know, and we all know the truth of it. The industry does that particularly to female actors and tells them this is the way you have to be. This is what you have to do to become really big and be there. You did all of that, but at the end you found your own voice and you followed that path and you remained the way you were. And you got a lot of love and got accepted for that.
Thank you.
I want to know how difficult that was for you. I know you made it look easy, but I don't think it was.
I think it's more difficult to sort of fall into a mold that isn't you. And so thank you very much for saying all of that. I've never actually looked at it that way, but when I hear it, it sounds very nice. I think it just takes time to create a niche for yourself and to carve a niche for yourself. And people can have ideas about who you might be and what you are, but I think it just takes time for people to get to know you, and then and that's that. Then after that, I feel like that becomes your little space. It becomes your own niche, and then you just have to reinvent yourself within that. So. Was it difficult? I think the waiting game is difficult, waiting for people to realize that you're not going to fit into their mold.
Like I said, you were someone who came completely from outside, and you were making your own space here. And at that time, I know that you have difficulties. What were the challenges that you faced? And how did you sort of, overcome those really low phases? And then, of course, you saw the highs as well.
I think patience is something that I've definitely learned throughout the stages of my life and the rhythms of my life. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge, is when things are not necessarily going how you would hope or expect, or it doesn't have the same momentum as you would like, just to sort of ride it out and then not compromise who you are or what you think, or what's right for you. And but I think both sides have challenges, right? So my side of it too, I don't want to discount what it's like to be from the inside. I think it's as difficult to sort of live up to expectations as it is to sort of come in and make a way for yourself and create a niche. But also these days, I think things have evolved so much. There's so many platforms. I think it's a very exciting time to even be in the industry. Yeah. I've seen so much come on, on Netflix and all over the place. So I feel like there is scope for a lot of inclusiveness and difference and whatever that is. I think also you have to be objective with yourself. Like, am I willing to sort of fit into that box, and am I willing to walk down that path? And I feel like your piece will let you know, right? It will let you know whether or not you're comfortable with the path that you're charting.
Can I just say that you sound so at peace? Is it the motherhood thing? People tell me like, oh, it's chaos, but it's beautiful. Is this how it is, Lisa?
I mean, it is. Look, it's a pace like no other. It really is a pace like no other. Would I trade it in for anything? No. I mean, it is. I think motherhood is so constant and so, it never stops, that sometimes other things can become trivialized by comparison, because the intensity of every day is, whoo. It's full on. Again, but it's a stage as well, right? Like, I look at people that have dogs and I think your dog's never going to become independent and go to college, but my children will. And I'll look back at these days and I'll go, oh, they were so cute.
But I want to know, when you got proposed, you had a beautiful rock on your hand. I want to know, did the proposal ring sort of turn out to be the one that you wanted? Or was there ever a ring or a piece of jewelry that you thought, you know what, if someone's going to come with the nicest words and give me that ring, I'm going to say yes?
Obviously, the man has to be the right man,
Of
or the
course.
perfect ring is
Yeah,
not
not
going to
gonna
stay
work.
on your finger. Yeah, it's not going to stay on your finger. The ring my husband proposed to me with is my dream piece of jewelry. It was a heart diamond, and he actually proposed to me in Paris, and he had brought 3 or 4 because the jeweler was his friend, and he brought 3 or 4, and he was so nervous when he asked me. He said, if you don't like it, I have this one too, it's a ruby, and I have this one. This was like after I'd already said yes. And I said, hun, I've always just wanted a heart diamond, like, and this is the perfect size. I'm gonna wear it everywhere.
Wow.
The band was made of titanium and had little diamonds in it. Honestly, it was my perfect ring.
Sounds
it was
good.
my, and he goes, because my friend said you might like this and you might like this. I said, no, hun, this is the one. I love this one. It's magic. I know a heart is, not everyone's cup of tea, but it was mine.
So cute. I love that.
Yeah.
You knew what you wanted.
I've never even had the nerve to tell him that I wanted a heart diamond, because you just want a man to almost read your mind and know what you want to be proposed with. And he absolutely did. I was in shock. It was the moment that I knew that he was.
He's the one.
He knew it. And
Definitely.
it was a sign. It was a sign. But yeah, I feel like jewelry in that way is so personal. Like, I've had people look at my heart diamond and be like, oh, that's interesting, you chose a diamond. I'm like, first off, I didn't choose it, but yes, I love my diamond ring. But they, everyone has their own personal taste. And like I said earlier, it's when you wear a piece of jewelry, I feel like it almost becomes a part of your soul. It becomes a part of, just your body. And when you take it off, it's missing,
I love what you're wearing right now as
Thank
well,
you.
right? It's
Thank you.
so
I do
classic.
too.
It's so classic
It's
in its
stunning.
way. And
Yeah.
and I want to know, what are the kind of jewelries that you have, or have you gifted someone that is so special to you, and why?
The jewelry I have it's all very simple and very classic. And actually while I was thinking about this collection and, the event today, what I love most about it is how classic it is. Because there's, Tanishq has made many beautiful designs over the years, but I feel like this is just one collection in terms of design that I could wear in 20 years and I would still love it. It's just, it's eternal. And the color hue is perfect. I love blues and greens. Those are my favorite jewelry colors. Really clear diamonds. And just there's actually a collection in this monsoon, Rhythms of Rain, and it's called the Peacock Collection. And it actually is just the colors of a peacock. And for me, this is the type of jewelry that I want to wear when I want to feel extra, and the type that I would have at home. I know, I was on set, I was like, oh, how much is this? How much is this? How much is this?
I think being extra works. You make it work.
Yeah, it's great.
Also, while we're at it and while we're discussing about your journey, I must say, I've asked this to a lot of actors, in particular female actors, and I've got really interesting answers for it, which is like, when you're in the industry, people around you really seem to know that, we'll tell you what to do, and they give you a lot of advices. Tell me the kind of advice that you think is really not the good kind of advice that you got, and that took a while to realize, right? You're like, you know what, this advice doesn't fit in my case. What is the kind of advice that you didn't take, and you thought it was kind of ridiculous?
Can I tell you what, Rudrani, to be honest with you, there's a lot of, my life, this is going to sound so bad right now, my memory fails me. After having 3 children, you lose a part of your memory. So, I don't know if anyone ever gave me bad advice, but, we've been trying to think about, the struggles that I went through and, rewind back in time to, it was only a few years ago, 4 years ago, but bad advice. I don't think anyone ever gave me any particularly bad advice. I don't think anyone really ever gave me any advice. I think it was more just, take things on the chin, be positive, treat failure like success. And yeah, I don't think
Maybe you
anyone...
didn't listen to them.
Maybe I just don't, yeah. If someone gives me bad advice, I probably wouldn't even pay attention to it. It's so innate. I feel like everyone, where you're going and where you want to go. And it's almost I'm sure in your career as well, it's a very intuitive and innate thing that you know what you're up to, and even if no one else understands it, you have that vision for yourself and you're following that certain, that path that you're walking. And I think it's like that for anything that you do in life, whether it is then getting married and having children or, whatever the course of your life takes you on. I feel like better than anyone else what that's meant to be, and just being true to yourself, I guess.
I think you knew that because you were working, and you were getting interesting roles. People loved you in Queen, and there was Ae Dil Hai Mushkil. Show about the fact that I'm doing this. You took a break from an industry which constantly tells you that, oh, if you're not seen, you'll be forgotten. And I think that takes courage as well.
Oh,
Tell me
thank
about
you.
that moment.
I think, again, it was just very innate. Like, it felt very natural. Like there was a relationship that, evolved into a marriage that then turned into a family. And it was a big decision to make. I think it's a big decision for any woman in their life to decide to, have children. Because once you do it, you'll never look back. And, it's there forever, right? So I think it was a big decision to make, but it felt right. So then, I also felt at that point in time that I'll make it what I want.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me what motherhood will look like on me. I'll make it look how I want to make it look, and I'll deal with it the way that I want to deal with it. So I'm not going to take on the baggage of what everyone else thinks, my life should become, or if it was or wasn't what anyone else was doing. It was just a personal choice that sat right with me, and that was it.
And I love that. And I started the interview by exactly telling you that I will admire the way you have owned whatever you've done, particularly your motherhood. You've shared that and normalized the entire process on Instagram, to your fans and to your followers. I think that is so important, right? You wore what you want.
Yes.
You did what you felt like.
Oh, thank you.
And that, I think, is so empowering.
Yeah, I think there was a point, actually, where I was just posting so much about my kids. And I thought, but, people have come to my platform because I'm an actress, and that's what they want to see. They want to see what I'm up to work-wise. But at that point in time, I wasn't working. I had one child. I was, there was COVID. I was getting pregnant with another, and then, there was, another. And there was a moment where I was like, maybe I should try and post just, more what they came here to see of me. And I thought, you know what, I can't do that. I have to be, this is my life right now. I can't try and, sweep it away to carry on being, what you came for, what you came to watch initially. If my audience changes, then that also will happen. And that's just a part of life. And I think the more authentic you are, the more people actually just value that in itself. But yeah, thank you.
I also feel like, first of all, congratulations, beautiful little girl. I'm sure like it feels special because you had two boys and now they'll have a little sister, and it's always special, right, for some way.
I mean, my husband actually called me the other day and he was like, gosh, she just diffuses. Like the boys are now like, they go at each other like they're sparring, these two cubs like, "Wah!" And then suddenly they'll just see her and they'll run over and kiss her. And then they'll go back and they're like beating each other up again. But it's just that she just brings that calm to the house, but she's quite a little tough one, she has to be. She fights for her rights.
Love that.
Yeah.
But it's also a part of you, right? Like, I love it when you give back to the trolls.
Yeah.
You don't, like, not give back in the sense of it, like, someone, like, for example, I thought the beautiful picture of that breastfeeding picture was so important because we still need to normalize breastfeeding, right?
I think enough time has passed between my Instagram post and now that I feel it's almost become, just a very normal thing.
Well, great. I can go on and on, but I know you have a lot more to do. But this has been lovely.
Thank you, Ruja.
I'm really hoping that I see. Is there something exciting that you're hoping is going to come your way, or is there something that we're going to see you soon in, or what are the plans when it comes to films or series or anything?
I don't really have any plans as such right now. I feel like every day is, an explosion of full-onness, but. I'm just taking each day as it comes, and it's been 2 trips to India in the last couple of weeks, which I think is like a real coming back home these days is just very exciting for me. So hopefully more of that will happen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're beautiful inside out.
Thank you.
And I think you carry off that wonderful piece of jewelry as well.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
So thank you once again.
Thank you.
And I am cheering for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.